really based on mercy. And sometimes we talk about causeless mercy and mercy as two different things, but really they're not two different things. If it's not causeless, how can it be mercy? If you think about it a bit. So yes, one who's received mercy, one should be thankful. One should be thankful, grateful, and then one should reciprocate. There's sort of a sequence there. Get mercy, feeling grateful, and then reciprocating like that. And of course, the root cause, you could say, of the mercy we got is Srila Prabhupada. Of course, we got the Hare Krishna mantra, the deities, and we get mercy from the mantra, we get mercy from the deities, but all these things are coming from Srila Prabhupada. If he hadn't given them to us, we wouldn't really have got the holy names or the deities. So we have such a debt of gratitude to Srila Prabhupada. And whenever we have an occasion like this, it's very important, like from the outset, that we consider that. Doesn't mean that we're just going to sort of have a Prabhupada night here, although it would be nice. But we're not exactly just going to focus just on Prabhupada. But we can appreciate Prabhupada helped all of us, and all of us are recipients and sort of like reservoirs, you could say, some mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And so it's very nice to appreciate the devotees in the context, in the sense of how they got mercy, how they've become what they've become, and they've become so nice and wonderful, and appreciate them like that. So we're going to do that. And in terms of here we're having a special event focused like this, and focusing on appreciation of Prabhupada, appreciating the devotees, and feeling grateful to Prabhupada, grateful to the devotees for the service they do and have done and the qualities they have. But it's an ongoing process. It's not that just, one evening on whatever it is, the 4th, I think, of April, that we have, yes, we're appreciating tonight. It's the night of appreciation. And tomorrow's another day, or something along those lines. It should be an ongoing process. I mean, it must be if we're together in Krishna consciousness, if we sort of got the message and we're working on becoming Krishna conscious, then this will be with us always. This idea of appreciating for the mercy that we've got and our good fortune. And Srila Rupa Goswami, he spoke one famous verse. It's there in Nectar of Instruction. Dadati pratigrinati guyamakyati prichati unkte bojayate chaiva shadvidam priti lakshanam. That, there's six loving exchanges between devotees. And one is to give gifts to devotees. And then the second one is, when a devotee gives you a gift, to accept it nicely, and then to inquire confidentially about life in Krishna consciousness and how are you doing, and is to open one's heart, to open one's heart to at least suitable devotees. Well, you know, there's devotees and there's devotees. But have you ever had the experience of opening your heart to some devotee about some personal thing that you're not going to broadcast, and then later on, the same day or some days later, someone comes and says, "Oh, I didn't know you had that problem." So, revealing one's mind in confidence with devotees who are capable of respecting confidence. And then giving prasad and accepting prasad. Let me just ask you a question, you can think about it. When was the last time that you not gave prasad or accepted it, because it was probably just today, but when was the last time you gave a gift to another devotee? Anyway, think about it. And, you know, sometimes when we do seminars about like relationships and devotee interactions, we present that idea to the devotees, and then we say, look, today's Friday, and Sunday is Ram Navami, so we want you to give a gift to another devotee, latest on Ram Navami. What do you think about that? Anyway, think about it. But these are like classic exchanges of affection between devotees, and affection which is based on appreciation. You know, some people, you get all sorts of people, even amongst devotees sometimes, but when someone is ungrateful, sort of chronically ungrateful, something like that, a serial ingrate, well, it's not good, is it? It's not good. So, in general, we should cultivate confirmation. Anyway, in general, we should cultivate gratitude, appreciation. This is just one of the most fundamental aspects of Krishna conscious character. So tonight, among other things, it's a good time to really reflect on how you're doing in these regards. And not that we're going to ask everybody to, you know, are you a grateful devotee or what are you? But we're going to do something similar, I'm warning you. Fasten your seatbelts, I tell you what, it is coming. But yeah, the root is Prabhupada. You know, I remember when I first moved into the temple in London, I moved in on January the 7th, 1973. And some days later, maybe a couple of weeks later, I was up in Prabhupada's quarters there. This was the temple in central London. We didn't have Bhaktivedanta Mana yet. And in that like special Prabhupada's room, where say the wall is, I don't know if it was quite as high as this wall, but it's maybe a bit less. At least like where you got these pictures and the sort of the level just between the pictures. there was a photo of Prabhupada, and if you squared off one of these areas with windows, squared it off, height by width, was a photo of Prabhupada. Really big. Up to the ceiling. So it was probably 9 or 10 feet square. And I was sitting there looking at this picture, and suddenly it just dawned on me how I'd received mercy from Prabhupada, despite being just incredibly, hopelessly unworthy. And I couldn't stop myself. I just broke down in tears, really. Thinking, Prabhupada doesn't even know my name, but look what he's done for me. It's incalculable. So it starts there. Starts there with Prabhupada. It starts with one spiritual master also. That's there. But then it flows out to and through all the devotees. So let us get into it this evening. And from now on, let's make it a regular function, at least within ourselves individually. And do you think you're up to organizing a gift for at least one devotee by Ram Navami? Is that going to be too much of a challenge? I'm sure I don't mean you've got to go out and buy them a watch or a piece of jewelry or something. Maybe just a samosa. A sweet, a Mangalati sweet. But something as opposed to nothing. Yeah. Try and do it. And then you should, with some devotees, I don't want to go on for too long, but some devotees who are prone to being critical of other devotees, unfortunately, you do get them. So some of them, they come to me. I've had many of them come to me over the decades and ask, what can I do? I've realized I've got this critical tendency, and it's not nice. What can I do about it? So I tell them, at least one thing I tell them is that if you're living in a temple with devotees, try and do it every day or every other day. But if you're living at home and you're just visiting on Sundays and festival days mainly, then at least once a week, go up to, look at the devotees, see what they're doing, and appreciate it. And at least once a week, go up to a devotee and say that, I saw that you were doing this, whatever it was. Maybe you were cleaning, maybe you were cooking, maybe you were worshipping the deity. I saw you were doing some service, and I thought, you're just doing it so nicely, so thank you very much for that. It's a good habit to get into on an ongoing basis, like once a week, like a sadhana. Every day we do 16 rounds. Once a week we express some appreciation. Of your husband too, you can do that, or your wife. So anyway, these are some thoughts. And thank you all for being such nice devotees and trying so hard to serve Prabhupada, spread his mission and support each other. Hare Krishna. To the Prabhupada King. All of you King. Upload Sub King. Okay.
So,
You tell me, yeah. I just...
So if we have any volunteers who would like to say a few words of appreciation, you can do so now, or we will volunteer you. No, we won't do that.
We will appoint some volunteers. That's what it's called.
But yeah, if there's anyone who would like to say a few words, like what Resh Prabhu said, please don't leave it to the end. Or you can either come up here, or we can bring the mic to you if you're feeling shy. You feeling shy?
Just one mic, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhu. Come on.
Krishna devotees, I didn't actually plan this, like, structure it, but I like to appreciate the management. Recently, one of the things that I noticed on one of the congregation currently, but the temple's nice and clean. Long ago it was not, it was different to that. It's just like very impressive. It's a simple thing for me, but I really appreciate it very much. Also, I think the Gopesh Prabhu, Govind Shila, other managers have done a very good job progressively of different things. So that's really, I appreciate it very much. And also, there's just a lot. For me, Lakshmi has eluded me for 50 years. In my case, in my life, I've aspired for it, but it didn't grow. So there are many devotees in the congregation that give enormous amounts of Lakshmi, which I don't know the totals. I don't need to, but I greatly appreciate that. Without a lot of that, many festivals and things just won't happen. Of course, ultimately, Krishna is the remote controller. But as ISKCON is a big preaching movement, we do big things globally and locally. All these things take, the managers and the contributors understand this. It takes a lot of contribution, and it takes unconditional giving. As far as I know, many people can be charitable in general human society, but devotees are very unconditionally giving. You just give from the heart, you don't want anything back at all. It's to please Krishna. So I appreciate that. The devotees who do service on the altars, the branch, other devotees will usually consult as well. It's just I really appreciate it. The Lord is dressed very nicely. My service pales. I've tried to do books since 1994. But when I look at a lot of devotees, other service, I aspire. It's actually pretty overwhelming. It's I'm not lamenting. It's actually just great appreciation. I'm here by the mercy. Sorry, it's a public thing, but I feel gratitude. And I'm a Prabhupada, I'm a spiritual master in mercy. So I appreciate the devotees who do daily service. I appreciate the devotees who've done books. All the other preaching, university preaching, it's just phenomenal. I'm not lamenting as I shed these tears, and I don't feel ashamed to actually shed tears with devotees. Devotees are generally not judgmental. Appreciate very much things of the heart. It's just a great honor to have an association of all of you. These tears will go out this morning soon. I generally feel a lot of joy in the association of devotees. I don't lament. but I just feel like I actually aspire to do so much service. As a preacher and a book distributor, for me it's personally a life mission. I intend to keep doing it. I'm not big. I don't do big like other devotees. But I actually aspire to get the dust all over your lotus feet. Thank you. See? That's the nature of devotees. Thank you. Just have a drink. I'll speak a bit and then I'll sit down. The other thing, I'll keep drinking and talk. I won't talk too long. As a preacher, we go out of our comfort zone. One can be peaceful, and devotees are very joyous and peaceful, non-judgmental, and have lots of love. So, in my journey, currently I'm focusing on developing or growing devotee relationships. I've had some challenges and things which are personal. And I just said to some God brothers today, just to, as an older person, to just focus on those things. Something that we can work on as a small yatra. We're not big. In other yatras, sometimes managers can't greet everybody, it's just too big. But for being a smaller yatra, we can actually focus much more on that. I haven't always been around because I haven't been available. I've been trying to make Lakshmi, it hasn't rolled. So I'm speaking generally. I also appreciate, thank you. I also appreciate Devotee Prabhu. Devotee Prabhu is got the Rath Yatra going in ISKCON Capetown. That's very greatly appreciated. The nice classes, and I think the management is taking the yatra way further. It's very nice to be able to appreciate this, devotees like this. I can do it personally too. I'm generally growing in gratitude. I'm just going through other Shiva Shankar Prabhu. I am being personal. Shiva Shankar Prabhu and family, the lovely feasts, I appreciate it very much. I just wish I could reciprocate. The Kirtan leaders, some are not present, appreciate them as well. The Food for Life, and the cooks for Food for Life and Food for Life itself. It gives great joy. That's what the service does. So, thank you very much. I can appreciate much more. What a good show, and that this year has gone and smile again. Thank you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Bhakti Chaitanya Swami for his mercy as well. Bhakti Chaitanya Swami and other gurus in our yatra have given the whole South African yatra a lot of mercy. I appreciate that as well. When I do my books, part of it is actually appreciation, action. I can give thanks, but the thanks actually, the gratitude comes out real in terms of service. I'll say one last thing is Gopaleshwar or Mr. Muta, they could be brahmacharis. They just constantly serve and serve. It's like it's often beyond me. I aspire to do like that amount of service. So thank you very much, and all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Gopali, I guess you're up next.
Hare Krishna. Sorry. Okay. So first, I want to thank Prabhupada, obviously, for writing so many wonderful books that I get to read. Like, I really love to read. So just that Prabhupada gave us so much, it really means a lot to me. And then I'm so grateful for my Gurudev, Inkradina Swami Maharaj, because he just took in a fallen soul like me. And he gave me such a wonderful, spontaneous initiation so that I can always think of it whenever I'm like lacking faith or something like that. So I really appreciate him for that. And thank you, Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj. I emailed him once and I got a video back. I was like, wow. So thank you very much. Very personal. And then, yeah, thank you for the whole congregation. I'll just pick out a few people so I can keep it short. Vasanti, I was meditating on this today and I was just thinking, she's such a forgiving person, you know, like I don't know, hurt her, or I've seen other people hurt her, but she just forgives people, you know, and I really hope that I can get that wonderful quality one day. So thanks for being my wonderful friend. And there were quite a lot of devotees who sponsored my trip to India, so just thank you to all of those in our congregation. Vishaka, you're so sweet, like we're having a new friendship, but you're just so caring and lovable and like, yeah, so just thank you for that. Abhimanyu, it's his birthday. Harry Wool to you. Sorry. Also, like, I'll be having a hard day, and Abhi would just be like sweet, you know, like doesn't judge you or anything. He just like accepts you. Oh, you're like this, yeah, you know, it's okay. Like, so thank you for always accepting me. Devotee Manager, you've given so many sweets that I've been able to hand out at Food for Life and give to university students. So thanks so much. Apples even that I give to the homeless people on the streets. So thank you for always that. And I love your Kshatriya spirit, because I feel like we relate a little bit there, where we're like, yeah, you know, let's do something for Krishna Prabhupada. No, in a wonderful way. Just your face. Because Kshatriya means to protect from harm, you know, so it's lovely to share that bhav with someone. Sorry. Okay, maybe I'll stop here.
We'll do that if we don't have enough, but for now we've got to.
Again, she's in.
Hare Krishna. So I also didn't prepare anything. Last year I did, but I was one of those people who wanted to go in the last 10 minutes. So I didn't get a chance. So I just want to say first, Gurudev, thank you for coming. I appreciate having you here, having your association, your blessings. So there's a lot of people that I would like to appreciate, and you know, a lot of them are not just. So maybe let's start with some of the people that are here. You know, when I first got here, I got a lot of help and guidance from Kogan Prabhu. I don't know if he was. I can't remember. I don't think he was initiated back then, but you know, he was one of the first people I actually met at the temple, and he sort of comes from the area where I grew up. So he helped me out a lot, you know, just in terms of meeting other people and introducing me to the congregation, to Shamananda, you know, certain people that sort of helped me out. Jyoti Moy, Rajamataji, you know, people that helped me along, engaged me in service, you know, brought me like closer into the movement. Sachipriya Mata, Peri Prabhu, Oveshtan Prabhu, you know, they stay nearby, so they've been very, very good friends to us, helped us out a lot. Gopakumar, thanks for your association, giving me guidance, you know, encouragement. You know, you always, with Patita Pavan Prabhu, you know, you guys are always, you give very, very good association. So anytime we sit together, you know, those topics of Krishna always come up. You know, they don't speak about anything else except Krishna. And I think it's just wonderful that it doesn't matter which way the conversation goes. If somebody starts talking about something else, they just manage to sort of inject some spiritual consciousness into that conversation and bring Krishna in. So thank you for that. Who else? Gokulesh Prabhu, Seva Mataji. Thank you so much. You guys have been really, really helpful. Just your love and your guidance has been wonderful. Devotee, Mataji, Nitai Prabhu, Rasa, with Rasa. Rasa also just, the amount of love and care they give us is just wonderful. Abhimanyu Prabhu, I think if you've ever done service on a Thursday, you know what Pastor Thursdays are. So thank you for that. So Esther Mataji, just your enthusiasm, Rajashekar Prabhu, I think between the two of you, whenever I was unable to make it for service, it's been like one of you two that was covering, it's so often that the two of you are there. If we ever need, someone to do something, garlands or, you're always there, even Vasanti Mataji. It's so wonderful to see your attitude to service and how open and how willing you are to just take on, extra services. So thank you for that. Shivshankar Prabhu, I know you and your family are always cooking, in addition to, a lot of other people here. So, but thank you all for doing that. I know how difficult it is. Sometimes, making, just getting everything done in a day with your services is really tough. So thank you all for doing that. My wife, Mahiri, I know she has to put up with me a lot, so, and yeah, so whenever you're involved in service, it really helps to have a wife that's so supportive, so thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And thank you all for being here, and I'm sure that in future there will be more things for me to be appreciative of. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that I haven't thanked or said anything to today, but like Maran said, I'll try and make it a regular occurrence. So if I do see you, hopefully I can say something nice. Thank you.
Very well. Now we have Vasanti Yulola
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So first of all, I'd like to offer my humble obeisances to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who built a house in which the whole world can live, and who gave the perfect process for going back to Godhead in the most accepting way ever, and gave access to someone in my position to services that never would have been possible in other parts of, maybe in India, and gave shelter. He is the real, he's a father to the whole world, and gave such shelter to me in real times of need, and I do hope that I can repay the service to Srila Prabhupada. What I love about Srila Prabhupada the most is when he writes, his metaphors are unmatched. I'm a little bit fond of poetry, so Srila Prabhupada's metaphors are unmatched, and they help you to learn about Krishna.
I love that Srila Prabhupada always speaks about Krishna and is completely saturated in Krishna consciousness. I love his sense of humor, and I also love his strictness. And then I'd like to offer my humble obeisances to my spiritual master, His Holiness Kadamba Swami Maharaj. And I have a small gift for everyone in that regard, if you'll bear with me and my technological challenges.
Yeah, so deep relationships we should develop with devotees. The question comes back about the General Maharaj. Deep relationships we need to develop with devotees, relationships of appreciation. We are known as the mutual appreciation society, and that appreciation is not just a matter of exercise. That is an appreciation which begins to develop from the heart. And when appreciation develops from the heart for upper Vaishnavas, then there's love. And such love is what devotee association is all about. When we try to give Krishna consciousness to others, how can we be attached to the result? Since we want.
So His Holiness Kadamba Maharaj ki Jai. And then I'd like to offer my humble respects and appreciation to my grandfather, His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj, who has known my family for so long and given us so much mercy. What I appreciate so much about Maharaj is his excellent memory of devotees. He will look at a devotee 20 years later, completely, in Bhagavad Gita it says that the soul goes through many changes even in one body, so he'll see someone that's looking in a different body completely to the last time he saw them, but somehow he recognizes that person by name, despite meeting so many souls that are needing his energy, needing his time, needing his mercy. Anyone who's kind to my father is the most dear person to me, so thank you so much, Maharaj, for remembering me a couple of years ago. And you said to me, I came and I was in quite a state, so I'd become a bit of a hippie, and then I came and I looked at you and I was in a state, and you said, just get into it as much as you can. And somehow that mercy is part of why I'm standing here today, without a doubt. You've been there for me every step of the way, the most difficult 2 times of my life. Somehow Krishna arranged that you were right there for Maharaj and also for my mom. And you just give so much mercy, and you remember devotees. And I just wish that, I wish that I can repay somehow the immense debt that I have. So we have some plans you've given me. So hopefully I'll send you some reports that bring a smile to your heart. So the next personality I'd like to thank and offer my obeisances to my older brother, His Grace Gokulesh Prabhu. He has to tolerate, I'm very emotional, I'm very mental, I've got so many things, and it's not like he can clock out and just, he has to deal with me. And he really has given me so much mercy and so much shelter and so much encouragement and so much to look up to. Whenever I think what kind of devotee would I like to be, I think of Gokulesh and Seva, because they give so much of their time, so much of their energy, so much of their love, and they don't complain about it. If I'm a bit too long on my feet, you'll hear about it, and I'm always complaining. I've never heard a complaint, so joyfully performed. And so I'd like to thank you for that exemplary, really first-class example of what it means to be a devotee. And I'd like you to thank you for tolerating me, not at that level yet, but please always give me your mercy and keep me in your shelter. My favorite thing about Seva Samhita is her hugs. She gives the most amazing hugs in the world. And my favorite thing about Gokulesh Prabhu is his laugh. He's got a very unique and cute laugh. So please keep laughing. Okay. So the next personalities I'd like to offer my thanks to are His Grace Vishwamba Prabhu and Her Grace Mother Nandini Mataji. Thank you very much for always being very kind to me, giving me lots of hugs and giving me lots of Vishwamba Prabhu also gives me so much sort of encouragement about my family, and it really has sat in my heart. So thank you. And practical support, spiritual support, and friendship. Mother Nandini, we sit on the bench sometimes, we've had some nice conversations, we've done some service together, and I really appreciate all those moments with you. I hope to have many, many more. And so now, His Grace Jyoti Prabhu, Mother Vrajavilasini and Krishangi. Jyoti Prabhu, I would not stand here without you, for sure. You allowed me to live in the temple, and I was a space case, and you're never heavy on me, and you always tolerated me, and you always encouraged me. And one day you looked at me and you said, I think you will do good on book distribution. And I haven't done good on book distribution, but I'm attached to book distribution like anything because of your blessing. I can't do good because of myself, but by your blessing I'm attached to it. And I thank you very, very much for that. And Mother Vrajavilasini, strong mother who has carried me also through one of the most difficult times of my life with my mother Jalangi. So thank you very, very much for that. Thank you for also an example of very exemplary devotional service, extremely high deity service mood that is so wonderful and inspiring. And you can see when you look at Shishimita Mahaprachandra on the day that they're dressed by Mother Vrajavilasini, their faces are full moons, two very full, happy full moons. So thank you for that, Mataji. Vaishnav Prabhu, thank you very much for always coming to the temple with your mother. It's very nice to always see you there. And I hope your Madanga playing is going very well. And so don't be shy, just always play your Madanga. Eri Prabhu, thank you very much for your sense of humor. You've got a great sense of humor when you give public speeches, and that's very nice. You're very authentic. You actually like very much yourself, and that's wonderful to see. Mother Sachi Priya, thank you for the motherly conversations. Every now and then you give some nice guidance and nice love and nice tolerance, and I feel quite sheltered in your presence. So thank you very much. Mother Gunamanjari Mataji, also a great hugger, one of the amazing hugs. These hugs that just kind of give you life, you can just carry on and you feel. Shamananda Krishna Prabhu, is he here? I don't think so, but he likes to say something about the Sunday Love Feast when he was young. He would go, and then when he left Sunday Love Feast, he said, I walk away feeling 10 foot tall and bulletproof.
Welcome to the wisdom.
So thank you for those hugs, Mataji. My glasses are bad, so sitting next to you is Devotee Priya, Mataji, right? My eyes are bad. Mother Devotee Priya, thank you very much for being a strong lady, a very strong lady, raising such a beautiful daughter who's clearly very happy and courageous to be herself, so you've shown her that. Thank you for all your charity to me as well. I like Gopali's points about all the sweets that we get to distribute to the people that we go and we preach to. It makes a difference, especially in South Africa, where oftentimes you can meet someone and they can't take a book or something like that, but you give them like a candy. Sorry, my phone's must be ringing. So you give them a candy, what is this? Sugar, the candy canes. I've seen so many people really light up about that, so I try to offer them and to go upon and things like that, and they really light up, so it makes such a difference. And thank you for that. Thank you also for your mercy on my father. Thank you very much. Anyone who's kind to my father is like one of the most dear people to me. Abhimanyu Prabhu, happy birthday. I have a small gift for you, so I'll bring it there so you don't have to be shy. So I'm not sure why, but maybe he'll share with us or not. The Abhimanyu Prabhu asked for a concha from India. So
I'll practice.
That's load shedding. Load shedding, that's
So thank you, Abhimanyu. As you can see, Abhimanyu has a very unique talent. It's like effortless. He's got this ability to make everybody laugh and feel happy and raise the vibration of the room. I don't know how he does it. He's got some blessing, some mercy. So thank you for that. Thank you for your very pure heart, Abhimanyu Prabhu. Is it Jayan Prabhu next to you?
Yes.
Jayan Prabhu, thank you. What I've seen from you is very steady devotional service. Every Thursday, you'll sing, you'll play Madanga, you'll dress Srila Prabhupada, you're teaching Mother Esther Madanga, and you're one of those like very steady mode of goodness people. I really struggle with the mode of goodness. I'm very passionate and maybe ignorant probably also. But I look up to people who have that steadiness and that mode of goodness, like really. So thank you for that example. It inspires me a lot. Is it Nilachal Chandra Prabhu next to you?
Yes.
Nilachal Chandra Prabhu, thank you very much. I know that you do a lot for the temple. You give us gas orders and a lot that I probably don't even know about, but thank you for that support and that sort of... Thank you very much for being there for the temple in all those very practical ways and also very steady on your service. Every day I see you there singing the Shinga prayers and you come for your service. And so these are things that I look up to and hope that I can also aspire to meet. Shiv Shankar Prabhu, my favorite thing about you is that whenever we attend a house program at your house, then there's a new person there. And so I also wish for that kind of mercy. So thank you for always trying to expand Srila Prabhupada's mission and preaching. And please continue to do so, and please bless me also to do so, and please engage me in the service if there's anything I can do. Time's running out, so I have to stop on the side. I have to stop?
You can any other...
So I'm going to send you all a WhatsApp one by one. So expect my WhatsApp. Okay, so thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So I will try to be brief, and I did prepare because I'm one of those people that don't like to talk off the cuff. This past week actually has been quite busy for me, but in a very sweet way. It's always very exciting when my spiritual master is here. I get to serve him so much closer and do different things, so I'm very appreciative of that. But it also gave me an opportunity this week at work when I was actually interviewed. It was an on the couch with executive session, and they ask you questions that you've never seen before, and it actually got me thinking about a lot of things. And so one of it was about what's a question that you wish somebody would ask you more of. And I was like, oh gosh, what do I say? And then I said, the question I'd like people to ask me more of, or questions people never ask me, is what inspires me? And so then I thought I should think about that and what inspires me about this community. So I sent Gokulesh a message saying, I know you said have these things sent through, but I'm not going to have time, and I have a list of people that I need to appreciate because it's what inspires me. So one of the other questions I was asked on the couch was, if you had to meet somebody who is currently not alive, who would that be? And so it was almost immediate. And then I asked even at home over dinner, Krishna, he goes, obviously Prabhupada. Why do you want to meet Prabhupada? And so I explained that, this is somebody who inspires us the most. And again, Krishna is almost 16 now, and we were talking about this, and sometimes she feels, we don't quite fit at school, we don't quite fit with different places. She goes, but Mama, how is it that I fit in so nicely? We can go to a foreign country and we'll go to a temple, and there you'll find her sitting with some youngsters. So it actually just shows us that Prabhupada has really built this home for us, where the whole world can fit in. And wherever we go in the world, we feel at home. And so that's something that inspires me, and actually inspires me of devotees, even if I don't know of them. And then my spiritual master, I used to travel around a lot, and people used to come to me and ask me, who you initiated by? And I'll say, oh, His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami. Oh, wow, you must be very special to have him as your spiritual master. So even though I wasn't anything special, somehow by your mercy, Maharaj, people think I'm also special. So that's your mercy to me, so I'm very grateful for that. So this community, I've been here, it's my 30th year in Cape Town this year. And so I have a long list of people to be grateful for, but I know time is short. So there's just a few people that I'm going to mention, and what I usually do is when we have this, I send a message out to everybody else that I want to appreciate. But in no apparent order, there's 4 appreciations that I'm going to do as briefly as possible. So the first person is not actually here today, and that's Her Grace Kandapa Sundari Mataji. And what I wanted to do for her is that not only is she a dedicated pujari, but I think the one aspect about her is what Maharaj mentioned earlier on. She has this remarkable thing about the attitude of appreciation of devotees. And what I've noticed about her is she takes a special effort to acknowledge devotees. So even if it's the smallest thing that you've done, she will acknowledge it somehow. So whether it's on your birthday or whether it's afterwards or something, she'll send you a message, whether it's a service or something, she'll send that to you. And this recognizing of somebody's bits of service has actually highlighted to me something that I'm not aware of, that person has done, that I can appreciate. And so I appreciate that of Kandapa Sundari Mataji very much, because it brings to light all of these maybe unnoticed service bits that other devotees are doing. And so I think that she's actually fostering this culture of appreciation that I will try to be doing. So I will send a message to her. Thank you to her. And then we'd like to thank Sweta Manjari Mataji and Vishwambara Prabhu. And I serve with them very closely on the initiation committee. And this committee is one of that committee where, it's not the easiest of service to be involved in. And what I appreciate about them is that they take the service so seriously. It's not just about assessing a candidate, pass, fail, do you make it, don't make it, but they take a special interest in each candidate, how can we help them, how can we get them through, and they're always the voice of reason in the committee, trying to make sure we look at each candidate for what they are and for making sure that we're consistent with them. So thank you so much for making that service easy for me as well. I really appreciate it. And for Vishwambara Prabhu, his dedication, he's actually moved on to PE, but he's still been helping us while we're trying to recruit new members and to settle in this service without him. Then I'd like to thank the management team, and I think I'm so glad that others have already thanked the management team. They say leadership is often a thankless task, but this team of devotees have been serving so nicely. They've had to navigate through some challenging situations, when it comes to deities, preaching, all of these things, but they've managed to do it so nicely and maintain focus on what's best for our community. And I think that's what I appreciate about them. And then lastly, I'd like to appreciate Seva and Gokalesh Prabhus. And the reason for this is that personally, my relationship and friendship with them go back more than 2 decades. I think it's closer than to 3 decades. I probably met Gokalesh Prabhu in my second year here in Cape Town, and his first year, so he's on 29 and I'm on 13. So our friendship and relationship goes back all that way. I think Gokalesh Prabhu is leading the yatra so nicely. His hands-on approach, his personal involvement, as you've all heard already. And he can't do this without the unwavering support of Seva Mataji. So they usually say behind every successful man is this nice shining star of a woman, and we have that in Seva Samhita Mataji. But on a personal level, I'd like to also say the decades of friendship that you've given us, to Jyoti and myself, we really appreciate it. And of course for Krishangi, it says it takes a village to raise a child, and our child has definitely been raised by this village. And the one constant in the last almost 16 years of Krishangi's life has been Seva and Gokalesh. They've been no different to any blood relatives. We don't have any of those nearby, but she's never felt any lacking in having blood relatives here. She actually tells our blood relatives when they say, oh, there's no family. She goes, no, I have family. I have lots of family. So thank you so much for that. And Thank you all devotees. You all have been part of that village that has helped me raise a child who is now almost an adult, and I truly appreciate that. So, thank you. Hare
Krishna, everyone. So for years I've been plagiarizing one of Maharaj's classes from a Vyasa Puja he gave. He told a story about his early association with the devotees in London, in Bury Place. He gave a long story about how he started, and the devotees would correct him every time he did anything. I don't know if you remember that, Maharaj, that class you gave. I've been stealing that class for years and been telling people about it. But the essence was that whatever we know and whatever we are doing today is by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. He taught us everything. He taught us how to get up. He taught us how to sleep. He taught us how to brush our teeth, how to take a bath, how to chant, how to read, how to live, how to be a human being, and how to be a devotee. So I took that information from you and I really took it to heart. My association with you started many years ago, almost 35 years ago. You gave a lot of mercy to the devotees, especially the temple devotees. You guided them, you were an inspiration. You were a charya because you taught by example. I remember you sitting in the temple room in Durban, and the devotees would come respectfully to pay obeisances to you. And you were the most senior devotee in the temple, in the whole yatra actually. And you would pay obeisances back to the devotees whenever they came. You followed the whole morning program every single day of your life. It was a great inspiration to me. And just the other day I was looking on YouTube as usual, just clicking through different YouTube channels, and I saw, Maharaj is doing japa, and I was thinking, that's amazing. That you give the association to so many devotees, and you're showing by example that you follow these principles, you follow the process very strictly, and it gives me inspiration to follow this, the same principles, and to chant my rounds early in the morning, and to become steady. So you're a great beacon of hope that I too can become steady. So thank you for that. So there are many devotees here that I owe a great wealth of gratitude to. They all helped me and made my Krishna consciousness enjoyable and pleasurable and memorable. First I'd like to thank my wife, Rajabhirasini, who is the steadfast pillar of devotion, and whenever I'm deviating, she brings me back to the center, because I'm very passionate by nature, and she's very in the mode of goodness, so she brings me back. And Krishangi, she's a naturally born devotee. We were planning to have a party for her, and we said you can invite anyone you want in the hall, whatever, any friends you want. So we asked her, give us a list of names of people you want to invite to your party, and 99% of them are devotees. We said you can invite all your friends, but none of our friends were invited. So she's a devotee. She's been growing up as a devotee, and I'm glad that all of you blessed her to become a devotee of Srimati Radharani. So first, I'd like to thank Gokula for, he's been a friend to me for more than, I think, what's it, like 30 years now? 25 years at least. We serve together very closely. You're a steadfast, humble, sincere devotee that has showered me with blessings and favor, and I really appreciate your contribution to my devotional life. And Seva, your happy smile whenever you see us, you always greet us with a very pleasant attitude, and your friendship to this family is very appreciated. Thank you very much for that. There's so many devotees. Gopa Kumar Prabhu, I would like to appreciate him. He has been steadily distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. He's going out and preaching every single day, and now he's going around the country, around the world, preaching, giving Krishna consciousness to everyone. It's a very rare thing. When I started out, everyone was a book distributor. When you joined the temple, you were a book distributor. The first day you got into the temple, the next day they would send you out on the street, and you had to go and preach and distribute books. Gop Kumar Prabhu has been doing this service for many years now, and I wish that I can get some inspiration from you to start distributing books again after many years. So if you can give me your mercy to help me distribute books, then I will try to do that in the future. Patita Bhavan Maharaj was glorifying all the devotees from the age of the 90s, Rati Manjari and so many other devotees. But actually, I was in the temple when you were one of the biggest book distributors in Cape Town. You distributed hundreds and thousands of books in Cape Town. And no one really appreciates your efforts that you did in the past, but I remember them, and I want to mention this to the devotees that Patita distributed hundreds and thousands of books in Cape Town, and he should be appreciated for that service. And he's continuing distributing these books, so thank you, Patita. Gopali, you are the happiest person I've ever met in my life. You bring a smile to all of us. So continue being happy. I've never seen you sad. I've never seen you miserable. I'm a miserable person by nature. And when I see you, you bring a smile to my face. So thank you for that. There's many devotees here that I need to appreciate, but I don't want to take too much time. I started the service of Rath Yatra in 2006, and I got disillusioned by the whole process. And recently, last year, Gokalesh Prabhu asked me to take it up again, and so I tried my best to do it. But I want to appreciate the devotees that helped me with the Rath Yatra, particularly Jayant Prabhu, who's here. Without him, I don't think I'd be able to pull off this festival. I wouldn't have been able to pull off the festival. Getting the permission to host the festival from the city of Cape Town is like pulling teeth from. It's the most difficult service that anyone can do is dealing with bureaucracy of the city of Cape Town. There's so many rules and regulations and so much uphill battle to get the festival put on. But Jayant is like the most calm and cool person I know. Nothing phases him. He just plods along, just does the service. So thank you, Jayant, for that. And the other devotees, Balai Mataji, she tried to do her best under difficult circumstances. Kala Prabhu, who is always smiling and happy, doing his service, he helped me a lot. And Naren Prabhu, who put that the chariot is falling apart, and he managed to keep it going just long enough so we can do the festival. So who else was there? And then finally, Gokalesh Prabhu for helping us putting the festival together. Your knowledge about the festival is invaluable. And Shiv Shankar Prabhu and Guna Manjari Mataji, I would like to thank you for the service that you do. I remember I was a temple cook many years ago, I gave up the service because it was too hard in my back. But I can't believe that at the age that you are, which is the same age as I am, you're doing that service, a service that I gave up years ago because I thought I was too old for it. But you're doing it. Mama Tamai Mataji, I don't want to forget you. You've been a beacon of service in this temple, long-standing devotee. One of the first devotees that I came to visit when I was in Capetown, when I first came to Capetown. You're a great cook. You brought up amazing children, all Krishna conscious children, and you have a wonderful family and a great service attitude. So, for the devotees that I haven't glorified, I glorify you. You've done a wonderful services here in Capetown. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
We've now got Sachin Prabhu who would like to say a few words.
Hare Krishna Maharaj and dear devotees. Can you hear me now? I would this appreciation note goes out to Govardhan Srila. As I reflect on this incredible impact you have had on my life and lives of those around us, I'm filled with gratitude and admiration of the selfless, compassionate, and inspiring individual you are. You're more than just a big brother to me. You're a mentor, friend, and shining example of what it means to live a life of purpose, devotion, and service. Your tireless effort to serve the temple community, from meticulously performing temple duties to enthusiastically distributing for food for life, is a testament to your unwavering commitment to Krishna's mission. Your kindness, empathy, and generosity inspires me to strive for excellence in my own service. And your guidance and encouragement have been invaluable to me on my own spiritual journey. But what I cherish most about our relationship, big brother, is the spiritual support and guidance you've provided me over the years. Your words of wisdom, your listening ear, and empathetic heart have been a constant source of comfort and strength to me. You've helped me navigate life's challenges, deepen my understanding of Krishna consciousness, and cultivate a more personal and meaningful relationship with Lord Krishna. Your ability to balance spiritual guidance with practical advice has been a blessing to me and so many others in our community. You've shown us that spiritual growth and development are not just about theoretical knowledge, but about practical application and living a life of devotion, service, and compassion. Thank you for being an amazing big brother, friend, and spiritual guide. I pray that Lord Krishna continues to bless and guide you on your spiritual journey, and that you remain a source of inspiration and spiritual nourishment to our community. Thank you with love, appreciation, and gratitude, Hare Krishna. And just to add, with any event, big or small, I like to say, it takes quite a few people to bring such an event together. And I want to thank him for organizing this evening, bringing us a warm and heartful gathering together this evening. So thank you.
So we've got a few words from on for Devotee department, and they'd like to acknowledge a few devotees, and after that we'll have
If you want to.
I want you. If you want
devotees. We as the core deity management team, we just want to do a general appreciation for all the service that has been rendered throughout the year. So firstly, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami, and all glories to the assembled devotees. On behalf of the core deity management team, it is our great honor that we would like to express our heartfelt appreciation to all of you who have dedicated your time, your energy, devotion to the service of Sri Sri Nitai Mai Prachanda. Whether you're directly serving on the altar, bathing, dressing, decorating the Lord, offering bhoga or arti, or supporting behind the scenes as backup with flowers, cleaning, managing schedules, you're participating in something that is profoundly sacred. Direct service to the deity is not ordinary. It is intimate, it is personal, and deeply purifying. When we serve the Lord, it is Asha Vigara form. We're not serving a representation. We are serving Krishna himself. Srila Prabhupada writes that a deity is not an idol, but the Lord himself, accepting the loving service of his devotees in a form that the devotee can approach. This kind of service actually softens the heart. It brings us closer to Krishna in a very tangible way. And it reminds us of our eternal identity, not as enjoyers, not as controllers, but as humble servants of the Lord. The Hari Bhakti Vilasa says, even a moment spent performing deity worship with sincerity can protect one from the greatest of dangers. Srila Prabhupada said, engagement in deity service is a very special mercy of the Lord. Only the most fortunate souls are given such an opportunity. We often speak about bhakti as the path of love, but love is not just a feeling. It is expressed through service, and that service that is offered with sincerity, dedication, and humility is what pleases Krishna the most. So today, we want to honor you, you who cook, who sew, who clean, who iron, who decorate, who plan, who care. You have given your time and your heart to this most personal service of the Lord. Whether seen or unseen, your seva is very powerful, transformative, and pleasing to Sri Sri Nitai Mai Prachanda. On behalf of the core deity management team, thank you for carrying out this sacred responsibility, and so beautifully. May your service always be fulfilled with inspiration, shelter, and joy. Hare Krishna.
Normally when I appear, I ask people to throw some light on the subject. because of the natural pigmentation. Very grateful to meet you. We're always grateful. The danger of expressing gratitude is this, that you might omit somebody. And then when you go home, and you'll say, I didn't thank this person. I didn't express that person. And then you feel you're insensitive. And it happens in life that we do hurt people. We're not mentioning. So what I'll do is, I wouldn't mention a single person, but I'll mention my gratitude, express my heartfelt gratitude on behalf of my family to all of you. I think this ambiance is like an award ceremony, because if you look at all the things that are displayed there, and I think I should win the most fallen award. Seriously, because I am not so entrenched like all of you that seated in front of me. I'm not so entrenched in the movement. But I'm grateful for your divine association. The way you treat me and my family with sheer spontaneity, the warmth and love you exude to us, the measure is immaterial. If it is minuscule, the impact is also great. So we are grateful. And I am grateful to my wife. I think it's not like a birthday thing I'm doing here, but I'm grateful to her. I think I'm subject to correction. It's the most underestimated lady. In Durban, she was a national figure, awards, what have you. I'm grateful for her to be the beacon of strength for my family, to bring us into a path of spirituality with greater spiritual potency, a tenacity, an unparalleled, unwavering attitude must be marveled at. And we are grateful. Because of her that we've been to this organization. Because of her that I've met Gurudev and his association, Praja, all of you guys. So I'm grateful. And I don't want to go in detail what she does in the background. I sometimes ask her, with all your illness, why do you take on these tasks? She said, no, I have to. I have to please Krishna, Prabhupada. And we're grateful. And when I was in Durban, we have a readathon thing, reading program, etc. So one day the teachers were surprised when I told, we have to give gratitude to Prabhupada. Because look at the books that he produced. And isn't that promotion of reading? And I'm telling you something, I've stuck into reading of the Bhagavatam with the prodding and encouragement of my wife, dear wife. And I never want to stop reading. We are now at the 4th canto, part 1. And Prabhu Vibhu gave us a gift of all the cantos. And we are there now, reading regularly. And my father-in-law, at the age of 91, the other Saturday, we asked him to read. My God, it was out of this world that how he was imbued with that kind of strength to articulate. And my father-in-law is toothless. I mean, I meant it that way. Not that he's a Capetonian or something. So he read, and everywhere, voice modulation, pronunciation of the words, transcendental, conversant, mystic, all these words he was able to pronounce. And there it is, your gratitude to that literature. That literature that could fill us. That spiritual nourishment that you're all looking for, the potency. And so I'm grateful to the lady of my life for being beacon of strength and showing me the direction, which I'm trying difficult to find. Sometimes I get out of track. I go in a very fast lane. But grateful for all of your association. We must keep that spirit going, and maybe we'll have this kind of function at a regular, consistent manner. And we're grateful. I'll express my gratitude on other times, but I'm grateful to be here and in your company. Incidentally, may I say something? I've now won the Potato Cleaner Award. Appropriate to strip Jay out of 2024. Strip him off, put me at 2025.
Hare Krishna devotees, all talking about. I just wanted to appreciate all the veg cutters. Some are young, some are happy. If that doesn't happen, we won't have festival prasadam. And also I want to appreciate Brother Nikunja Kishori. It's not something we really speak about so much, but BTGs is also part of book distribution. So thank you for your service. And all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you.
Yes, so devotees, how wonderful, amazing. Actually, it went way beyond what I was expecting or even hoping for. These appreciations and glorifications has just been absolutely wonderful. And you know what we're going to do? We are going to do a special exercise. And would you believe it's called the appreciation exercise? And what you do, how it is done, is that whoever you are sitting next to, you just turn around and express some appreciation for them. And once you have finished appreciating them, they turn around and express appreciation for you. And that's it. What do you think? And prasadam will be served. Yes. So, but we'll give you as much time as you feel you need. Do you get the idea? And if there's, the person next to you, or a person next to you, if you already got a person next to you, but then there's a spare one on the other side, just drag them in or do something like that. But otherwise, two's company, and three is ecstatic. So that is what we're going to do. That's what you are going to do. So, devotees, do it